Hello, and welcome to another creative media production video. Today we'll be going through the history of editing in films and early cinema. First, there were the Lumiere brothers. Auguste and Louis Lumiere were both technically minded sons of the well-known Lyons-based portrait painter Antoine Lumiere. They are both credited to be the first filmmakers in history. Their first ever film, Workers Leaving the Lumiere Factory, had marveled audiences at the time it was screened in the basement of the Grand Café in Paris, as it was never seen by anyone before in 1895. They invented a device that combined a camera with a printer and projector. They called it the cinematography, which was hand-cranked, and the brothers used as a film speed of 16 frames per second. As part of the audience of the basement of the Grand Café in Paris in 1895, Georges Méliès approached the Lumiere brothers and asked to buy their machine. However, they refused to sell it. But his determination to investigate moving pictures made him sought out Robert Paul in London and built his own projector soon afterwards. He saw a lot of potential in this phenomena and soon started screening other filmmakers' films and then his own. His films presented spectacles of a kind not possible in live theatre. In the fall of 1896, Méliès was filming a bus coming out of a tunnel when his camera jammed. When the camera was working again, he discovered that he could turn a regular bus into a car right on screen, being known as the jump cut. He also introduced other techniques called fade in and fade out, overlapping dissolves, and stop-motion photography. Edwin S. Porter was another filmmaker who started off as a Vitascope projectionist for Costa and Bryles Music Hall in 1896. He became head of projection for Thomas Edison's Skylight Studio in 1901 and acted as a director and cameraman. He was inspired by Méliès' A Trip to the Moon and decided to try out narrative filmmaking by creating Life of an American Fireman. Temporal overlaps, which were shots with overlapping action, were used to shoot full scenes of the film. He then began to make The Great Train Robbery in 1903, using different shots which did not fade away for the next. Porter started to make people realize that the scene was not the most basic unit of cinema. It was the shot. D.W. Griffith was the seventh child of a Confederate Army colonel from a World district in Kentucky. His lifelong ambition was to be a writer, and fell in love with Victorian-style literature. Griffith tried his hand at writing film scenarios for film production companies. He submitted a play to Porter, but rejected it for having too many scenes. Instead, he hired Griffith to star in one of his films, and directed The Adventures of Dolly for Biograph Company. One of his many inventions was the cut-in as shown in Grease's Gauntlet, and also having a scene with continuity editing. This is a cutting style that maintains a sense of continuous space and time, including the 180-degree rule, which involved only filming on one side. After many years, featured intercutting of cross-cutting, which involved bouncing between two different scenes going on at the same time. Griffith brought about establishing shots, reverse shots, mashing eyelines, and cutting on action along with fellow contemporary filmmakers. He was also remembered as making the first blockbuster, The Birth of a Nation, which was condemned for racism during its time, and was the most expensive film to make until he started creating Intolerance, which featured color but was panned at the box office. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe for more videos based on media production.